Hello and welcome to Hook Boxing. It is a Thursday, which means we're doing an interview. Yes. Today we interviewed Ijaz Ahmed and we spoke about his upcoming fight, previous fight, what it will mean if he does win a British and Commonwealth title in his next fight against Marcel Braithwaite. And we speak about what got him into boxing in the first place and some other stuff as well. So please enjoy. If you're free on the 20th of October and you're in Birmingham, go watch the fight live. It's worth it. The first fight, there's a link in the description to where you can watch that on YouTube. It's a brilliant first fight. The rematch will be even better with both men prepared for each other. Seriously good fight. TV worthy. So if you're free, go get tickets. Message Ijaz on Instagram. You'll get tickets. It's worth it. And here is the interview.
Well, yeah, Ijaz Ahmed, professional boxer in the super flyweight division, former Midlands area champion at flyweight, current WBO and IBF European super flyweight champion, and now hopefully after this fight I'll be the Commonwealth and British champion at super flyweight.
Is the Commonwealth on the line for this fight?
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Braithwaite actually, because after the last fight we had, I wasn't able to rematch straight away because Ramadan had come like very shortly after.
Yeah.
So because I'm mandatory for the British and the Commonwealth had just come in for that fight, he went and fought somebody else for that Commonwealth, which he just about scraped the victory for. So he's got the belt, but that doesn't change anything. And I know I did enough the last time, but I know I'm gonna be victorious, God willing, this time.
Are you excited
And take
for it?
that belt off him as well. Yeah, 100%. I just can't wait, man. I've been in 12-round British super flyweight title fights, and each time they've given them draws, which is unheard of, never happened before.
Yeah.
I've trained really hard. Each time I threw more punches, I landed more punches. I didn't get hit as much, but I don't know why they don't want to give it to me.
Yeah. Do you feel a bit hard done by?
Yeah, very, very, because there's a lot of people that I've spoken to, and they're saying, "How are you still going on?" After the first one, especially after the second one, it would have been all over for him. What's keeping me going? But the thing that's keeping me going is, look, at the end of the day, I've tried. I'm trying, and I'm there. I'm doing it, but it's just not in God's plan as of yet. And when it is in God's plan, and it's written for me to get that belt, then I'll get it. If it's not written, then look, it's just not written. I've tried my best, and people who've watched them fights know I actually won them fights. These I don't know what these judges be watching when they're judging the fight. I mean, it's frustrating. It really is.
Well, judging in boxing is just a little bit all over the place anyway.
It is 100%. I mean, look, there's so many, not even taking my experience. There's so many other fights out there that the judges have really messed up on. And I mean, come to think of it, it's a bit silly how you're letting people judge fights who've never laced a pair of gloves on their hands, who've never experienced that, in-fight combat, and how they can know exactly what's going on. And it's just upsetting. I mean, what they should do is put former boxers in the judging panel, because they know, and they've been through all of that, and they know what to look for.
Interesting.
And it gives them former boxers something to do after they retire.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's not a bad idea. I mean, obviously bias would come into it, and that was the only thing that you'd question with that. But it is a good idea.
Yeah.
And
I
you
mean,
already,
if that's the case, if they could always get others, like just say if it's a guy fighting from London, they could get um, somebody from Birmingham or somebody from Liverpool or somebody from Manchester to do the judging for it.
yeah,
So I mean, you can actually it's exactly how they do it in football, where they get international like referees instead of having in-house kind of thing.
yeah, it's not a bad idea actually. And obviously, referees are biased anyway. We know that that has happened a lot before, where English referees will side with the English fighter or whatever. So it's not. It's quite interesting that. It'd be interesting
Yeah,
to see if that could
100%.
ever
Look,
happen.
at the end of the day, you've got to be fair. If the guy's won or if the guy's lost, give the guy what he deserves, because
Mm.
you don't know what he's put in to get to where he is and how hard he's trained.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No, no. So just moving back to your fight against Marcel Braithwaite, the first fight was pretty incredible. It was an all-out war.
Mhm.
Real shame
Yeah.
it wasn't on TV, because it is a TV-worthy fight. Obviously, it was on YouTube. You can go watch it. I'll put a link in the description. I highly recommend you do watch it. Anybody at home. Um, does it concern you he only had 2.5 weeks camp before that fight?
I mean, he was in shape. I mean, you can't make super flyweight if you're not there and about.
Yeah,
So he was in shape and he was training for something. So him getting it in 2 weeks time, it is a bit of obviously it is last minute. And I appreciate him taking it, and I do take my hat off to him because he's done the hard graft and got the weight off by the time, and we got the fight on. Because the person I was supposed to fight, Kadimi, he's pulled out yet again, and he just putting me in no man's land kind of thing. So
yeah,
I trained, and I was actually my fight plan and everything was for Kadimi.
yeah,
Now, obviously, last minute is changed, and the last time I'd fought Braithwaite was in the amateurs, which was a long time ago, and is a different type of fighter back then,
yeah,
and it's a different type of fight because it's only over 3 rounds, and it's all about work rate, and I'm not the same fighter I was back then either. So there's a lot of factors that go with it. So I mean, now that this time we both have got a proper camp and we know who we're going to be fighting, and so um, it's going to be interesting, and I'm sure I'll get the nod this time. I'm obviously try my best like I always do,
yeah.
and whatever's written in God's plan will happen, and I'm happy with what either way. But my full intention is to win.
Mm. How's camp going for you?
Camp here is going well. It's in the second week now, and just training hard. Um, you know, keeping away from stuff that I shouldn't be doing, and just getting on with it.
Yeah. Just talking about Casey Kadimi. Obviously, you fought him 3 times already. Is a fourth fight something you want?
And not really, to be honest, because look, I've fought him 3 times. I've beat him. I have beaten him all 3 times, but um, they've just not given me them last 2 times because I think it's just because the British title was on the line.
Mm.
I don't know why they just don't want to give it. I really don't. I have nothing to say. But when the Europeans were on the line and I beat him, then they gave it.
Yeah,
It was a different judging panel, which is why I'm thinking, they're not biased, or they're not looking at um, who I am or who he is. It's just who won on the night,
yeah,
which is, I mean, look, anybody watching them fights who don't know me, who don't know him, will tell you, how can they not give it to me?
yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of, and if you go into any comment sections or just post fight interviews, a lot of people do give it to yourself. Obviously, some do give it to Kadimi, but again, it's just what you look for in a fight, isn't it? I mean, I would say that your work rate and aggression would have won those fights, but then if you like sort of quality maybe in terms of maybe you see Kadimi landing 2 shots per round that are quite good maybe, but this is where we need clarification.
Even they were just flick shots and he just ran off kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he tries to do he tries to like do the hit and not be hit kind of thing, but he got hit more than I got hit in them fights. So I really don't understand. I really don't. I mean, this sport having these decisions has kind of made me lose the love of the sport. It really has. And this personally is going to be the last time I'm going to fight for the British title, and hopefully they do give it to me. But if they don't, I'm really gonna have a good think about the whole thing.
Wow. Have you considered retirement before?
Well, obviously, only because of these decisions. But before that, I haven't had the reason to. Just getting in there. I just like the buzz, and you like the because God's given me this talent, and I'm trying my best to make it to the top. But it's like somebody's kind of trying to chop my legs off while I'm trying to get there. But everything in life is a test, and I'm just gonna keep going and try my best, which is all I can do.
Yeah. So let's say 20th October, you've won the British title. Where are you going on? What are you doing next?
Well, I'm not too sure. I personally, I don't look past the fight that's in front of me. But once that does happen, I'm gonna sit down with the management and the team and see what options I have. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. I'm 30 years old now, so we need to start pushing on. And I've already got some European titles, and maybe getting an international overseas fight or something, again another European before I do go for a world title or something. It could be an option, but we're gonna have to just wait and see what options are available at the time. Now it could be that I could I could defend this title, or maybe another a bigger opportunity will be out there for me.
Yeah. Trying to think now. If you were to win, I reckon you would be maybe pushed. If like a solid win, you'd probably get world rankings. I imagine I had a look before this interview. I think you could definitely push into the top 15 of a few of them. So you definitely got opportunities afterwards. So if we just move back sort of to the start of your career, as in before you even started boxing, why boxing? Why did you even start?
Well, to be honest, the only reason I actually was in the sport was, my dad loved the sport, and it was an activity we could do together, and I was a fat chubby kid, and he actually wanted me to get into some sort of martial arts to, number one, be able to defend myself, and number two, shed some of the weight. At first, I was in kickboxing. I did that up until I was a black belt, and then there was no progression in that field in terms of going forward and doing something about it, making a career out of it. Yeah, you can go pro, but it's not as good as the boxing scene, which is why we transitioned over when I was roughly 15, 16 years old. And I was still just ticking over, not really taking it seriously and stuff. Just going down to see a couple of the boys mess around, just socialize kind of thing. But then come when I was 18 years old, I just had a good think about it. And I'm thinking, look, I'm beating up the guys that are competing in the amateurs and stuff. And I've got to give it a try because I'm just going to let my talent go to waste, which is why it was quite late as an amateur. I was 18 years old when I become an amateur as a boxer.
Yeah.
A year or so, just getting fights here, there, everywhere, and I managed to shed the weight. When I first started out, I was 75 kilo.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and I was fighting guys like double the size of me and stuff, and how it was really difficult to get victories and stuff because how in the amateurs where they love the stand up tall, long range, throwing them 1-2s and whereas me, I was the one that was tucked in low. Rolling, slipping, and coming up with the hooks and the uppercuts and the overhands, and that's not what the amateur judges were looking for. So, I told myself I had to shed this weight, which eventually I did. And then, went into the championships for a couple of years, and then I'm just um, getting dodgy decisions, and it just wasn't going my way. So I thought, what, it's time to turn over, which is what I did when I was 23. And obviously for the last 7 years I've been just trying to build up my career and stuff. I haven't fought as much as I wanted to, only because financially getting people to come buy tickets and support is very difficult this day and age, because where if it's not benefiting somebody, they just don't want to be paying 40-50 quid for a ticket, do they?
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, look, that's their hard-earned money, and I really do understand why they wouldn't. They'd rather spend that on themselves and their own family than spend it in towards someone they only see now and again, or it's just one of them things where you have no control over it. Either they enjoy the sport boxing and they like to watch it, and they like to come and support a fellow community member or something, then they'll come and they'll support, which is exactly why I'm saying I wasn't able to get many fights in per year, but I try my best, and I've had to even fork out my own pocket just to make this keep this dream alive. So look, being in this situation now after getting these decisions 3 times in a row, it really does. It's demoralizing, and it really does make me put my head down and think, what's the point? Why am I doing this if they're not gonna be fair about it?
Yeah. So, without getting too personal in the money side, have you got a plan after boxing?
Well, I mean, I have a backup in terms of I've got a how can I say I have I'm a something I do is I do mechanics, so that's something I can fall back on. So I have that experience there. So like in between fights when I'm not fighting, like I kind of I'm there. I'm trying my best to learn. So when the boxing does finish, I've got some kind of field I could go and fall back on.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always coaching. There's always something in those lines through the boxing that I can do, because I have a lot of experience, and I can help the youngsters of tomorrow to help them get to where I am right now.
Yeah. And with the weight
or
loss as
even
well?
beyond.
personal trainer is
Yeah,
definitely an option.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, how to make weight and what to eat and all of that is it is something that I can go into. So, um, at the moment I'm just focused on myself. I'm trying to get to the top for myself at the moment. Once it doesn't look like it's gonna continue and I do retire, is when I could sit down and discuss this with you know the missus and
Yeah,
and the family and see what is the best option for me.
yeah. So are you because your dad got you into fighting, boxing, that exercise kind of side of it.
Mhm.
Before that, did you ever watch boxing?
To be to be honest, what's your name?
Connor.
Kana, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't it doesn't really like it doesn't really interest me to watch much of the boxing. I mean, if it's a big fight on and stuff, yeah, I don't mind with it when all the boys are around and they want to watch it and they want to get together.
Yeah.
But like, I just enjoy taking part and being in that ring myself.
Okay. Does that hold you back?
To be
Not watching other fighters?
Oh, that's what my dad's been saying to me.
Yeah.
I do need to, I do need to study and watch these fights because you can pick a lot of things up by watching other people fight. And I have in the past, but like um, I not religiously, not properly like that. A lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to do what makes you feel like what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about the actual fighting, then that's probably the best thing to do. Because
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, if I'm up against Braithwaite now, um, if his previous fights and stuff, it's silly not to watch it. So you can do a bit of homework on your opponent. Of course, I do that, but like going out my way. I mean, you got a million and one things to do in the day,
yeah,
and trying to fit all of that in with the. Uh, you've got to do it, to be honest. It is something you should do as a boxer, but sometimes other things come in the way, don't they?
yeah, could also burn you out as well if you're just constantly boxing. Like,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you're just fully focused on that, then everything else gets zoned out, and your head is just it gets all scrambled, doesn't it?
yeah, it is an odd one. I think you have to be almost a bit mental if you're working out, watching boxing, working out, watching like just constantly for 12 weeks or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But I guess maybe that's the difference, isn't it, between like a Floyd Mayweather and then the rest. Like, you know what I mean? As in,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
maybe that's it.
100%. I mean, to be honest, look, people like that can afford to do it when they've got that financial backing behind them.
there is that.
All they have to do is just sit down. Then they don't have to worry about anything. That look, everything is paid for.
Yeah,
I could sit here all day, all night for the next 2-3 years, and I don't need to worry. They're one of
true.
them things. But
Yeah,
whereas where you need to pay bills, you need to do this, you need to do that. Then you gotta be alert in every aspect.
yeah, it's a good point as well. How do you find nutrition? Because obviously, being such a light fighter, you are having to make sure you are on point with what you're eating and not overeating, especially. So how do you find that?
Yeah, very difficult. Very difficult. It is a big one of the hardest parts of the actual game. Uh, you see your family members eat what they want when they want, and you're like scratching your head, thinking, I'd want a piece of that, but
Yeah,
in the back of your head, that little voice telling you, you're not allowed. You know you can't have that. But it all depends on how strong you are mentally, and um, if it really does mean what does it mean to you, making this way, and are you in the right sport, and
yeah,
you ask these questions to yourself, and the ones that are strong mentally do get through all of them tests.
Immense discipline, isn't it? Must be.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's it. That's the right word. Discipline. You have to be disciplined, otherwise you're in the wrong game.
Yeah. How often are you working out?
Well, now that I'm in camp, I'm looking at about three, 4 times a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot.
It's basically like a job. In the morning, during the day, in the evening, and then in between you're getting a bit of rest to and recuperate, and then you're back on again.
What are you doing 3, 4 times a day? Because like running, obviously cardio of any sort, and then like weights, and then actually boxing. But you can't do all of that in one day, surely.
No, no, no. It's just the coaches. They have it all set out. It's different on different days, but
Okay.
basically we're getting we're obviously you gotta be on a calorie deficit to be able to make the weight
Yeah.
and shed the weight. But there's a lot of things that you gotta do to be ready for a 12 round fight,
Mm.
and the body's gotta be tuned uh, to be able to go up and down the levels.
Yeah.
So
Sparring as well,
yeah,
everything.
yeah, 100%. So you're getting sparring, you're getting your runs, your sprints, you got to do a lot of different things.
Yeah. I mean, that is tough. Does that motivate you though? To win, because you realize like 3, 4 times a day, like you say, that is basically that's a full-time job.
Yeah, 100%. When you look back at it and you think, and or you're doing it, you're in these training sessions, you're thinking, you're putting yourself through all of this hardship and uh, this training, you bring your body through all of this, right? And obviously, it's the end result what is what we're after
Yeah.
initially. It's what, picking up that belt and holding that belt and, parading around with that belt saying, look, I won this. I put the hard work in for this. And that's exactly where you want to be in the history books, and you wanna show people, look, with hard work and dedication, you can achieve whatever you want.
Yeah. I really hope you do, especially Braithwaite. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but he's already had some huge fights. Well, Sonny Edwards, you would it'd be great to see you go on and do more. Great to see that.
Yeah, man. I don't see. Kind of. I'm trying my best. I'm gonna. Like I said, my full focus is to be victorious, get that victory, get them belts, and then move on with my career, and do as much as I can, win as much as I can. Whilst this boxing career is short, you have a short
Yeah.
lifespan in this career, and then once it's over, it's all over. You just gotta spread the knowledge that you've picked up all throughout the years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have no more questions, so I'm going to say that's everything from me. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, not really. I'm just you know ready, training hard, and come 20th of October, inshallah, I'll get the victory, and I'll be picking both of them belts up.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I did. Obviously, it was very entertaining, very interesting to talk to Ijaz Ahmed. And again, if you're free, 20th October, Birmingham, Holiday Inn, Commonwealth and British titles on the line in a already it was when they fought earlier this year. It was already a fight of the year contender. If you are able to get there, go message Ijaz on Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. So go get tickets if you can. If you can't, watch it on YouTube. Why not? Follow him, support him. Really nice guy. Thank you for the interview and subscribe, like, blah blah blah.